You're watching Josh's Metal Fucking Monday. Middle school is pretty much when, I made that transition from, I think one of my first records was like Rob Zombie, the Hellbilly Deluxe or something.
Yeah, dude.
And I thought that was so heavy. And then I went and hung out with my cousin Richie. He passed away while I was on tour, but he actually got me into metal, and he was just pretty much made fun of me and was like, here, and just let me listen to some of his records. And he had Mudvayne, Slipknot, Korn, all those other classics. But dude, I mean, from then he was the next time I saw him, then he showed me Cannibal Corpse and Suffocation and all these other bands and Pantera. And so as soon as I got into Pantera, dude, it was on. It was really Pantera was that sort of bridge to make me see that heavier is better, and then I just stopped liking anything else after that, really. As far as the song, I think it was probably Becoming.
Right on. Good one.
Dude, that fucking riff. And I'm from Fort Worth, so Fort Worth is pretty close to Pantego, Arlington, and I jam in Arlington, which is right next to Pantego. So where they're from, I live in Fort Worth, close to the Joe's Garage, to where it used to stand, but I never actually went. It was closed down way before my time, but I'm here with all that history, man. So it's like it's kind of cheesy, but it's kind of not. I'm
not cheesy at all. Fuck that, dude.
I'm in the middle of it. So when people, it's like an automatic, and it's an automatic for people to say they like Pantera that are from this area. But for me, it's the real deal. I don't know what to fucking tell you. I mean, I love it. I was into Slipknot and sort of a lot of the new metal-y type acts and stuff like that, but. I like their older stuff, and once I got into Pantera, dude, there was no question. Like that was the direction that I wanted to hear. That's everything I wanted to hear, was heavy and groovy and just absolutely aggressive. But Becoming was the song that really was like, that hooked me. And then I started playing drums when I was like 12, and I just wanted to go fast, so because it's a running joke with a bunch of drummers that I know around here of what he's actually doing, and no one knows fucking exactly, and everybody has an awesome answer of a triplet over a consistent single or whatever, but it's like I've never heard Vinnie Paul straight up say what he's doing, so I don't believe anybody, even if they're right. I want to hear it from him. Warbeast was initially Texas Metal Alliance, and they got together for Wayne Abney, who broke his neck in a motorcycle accident, who plays for Hammer Witch. So you're getting a lot of history real quick right now. So you have
That's what I love to hear, man.
Hammer Witch, Rotting Corpse, Rigor Mortis, Gamacide. Those are your big 4 thrash bands from Texas, right? All those bands pretty much came together and formed a supergroup, kind of like, which was Texas Metal Alliance, just to do this benefit show for him to help him out. Well, they dug it so much they kept it going, and they had Ed Velez on drums, who plays for Rabid Flesh Eaters right now, and he's an awesome guy, but I guess things weren't really clicking, and I was playing for Demon Seed, a death metal powerhouse at the time, and they came to my show, and Scott was like, man, I want you to come jam. And then Bruce approached me again and gave me a CD to learn. I went and learned 4 songs, and dude, it was, within a year, Bruce looked at me one day and was like, I'm going to get you signed. If I do anything with my life, I'm going to get you signed. He was, I promise you, I'm going to get you signed. And I was like, all right, Bruce. And he did it. you know, he had a good relationship with Philip, and Philip was very adamant about giving Warbeast a shot. You know, he's like, before you take it anywhere else, come to me. And, you know, 18 years old, we had signed. I graduated high school. That was one of the stipulations for me to stay in the band.
Oh, shit. Fucking right, dude.
The guys made me graduate high school, but as soon as I graduated that summer, we hit the road. He's awesome, man. He's absolutely incredible and kind and smart and patient and extremely hardworking. Do you want to talk about hardworking? That dude would play 4 hours, load in and out, and do his own sound checks all motherfucking day.
Damn.
All motherfucking day. And he would sign autographs. He would sign every single person in the club until they fucking left, and then put his gloves on and go until the trailer door. So everybody's goal every night, because he worked so hard, was to make sure and have the trailer loaded before he got done with the autographs.
Right on.
Wow.
Dude, Hank gave me my big I was already working with Philip on the Illegals, but Hank gave me a huge break by asking me to fill in for a tour. And the way that happened was I had a good job, and my boss used to tour. So when Hank called me, he asked me, he's like, "Are you going to get paid? Is it going to pay your bills? And do you think it's the right choice?" I was like, "Yes, sir." He's like, "Well, I think you should do it." Hank called me a week before his tour, saying that I might need to learn some stuff, you know, potentially this might happen. I don't know what was going on. Well, a couple days go by, he sends me a real CD, mails it to me, like, here, hey, you know, here's some links and stuff, but here you go, listen to it. 2 days before the tour, 3 days before the tour, I can fly out tomorrow. I need you.
Oh,
and you know, I've done tours with my band, but those are my guys. You know, I've known them. This is flying to Nashville. You like straight, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Come out here, learn this shit, and let's go. So he flew me out, and I had 2 days to learn this, the cattle calling, the 3-bar ranch. If you get a chance, look up 3-bar ranch branded on YouTube. A good buddy of mine, Phil Cancia, took over for me, and he's doing a great job for Hank now. But he took me on a U.S. run, man. He took me all over the United States, and then after that tour, he's like, "Man, I haven't been to Europe in forever. I don't like going. I'm about to go. Are you down?"
Oh,
like, what the fuck, dude?
Wow.
And I started running it by Kate and everybody in the band, and you know, it came down to it, and I did it. He took me to Europe my first time. Well, when Warbeast got signed, pretty soon after that, Philip had mentioned that I think we were doing Bruce's vocals, and Philip had mentioned he had some solo stuff that he couldn't get the right drummer to do. He had jammed it with somebody, and they just wasn't what he wanted. And then he had sort of became I guess he kind of asked Bruce, and Bruce kind of suggested, you know, well, why don't you just have Blue do it? And Philip was like, "Oh, I didn't really think about that." So they asked me if I would be interested in jamming with them, and I was like, "Well, fuck yeah, of course." And I came down for a session with Philip, learned a bunch of songs, recorded them, went home with the CD, and was like, "What the fuck?" And came back, re-recorded them, went back home. And when I went back that time, I had met Marzi, and he was like, "Hey man, this is gonna be your guitar player." I was like, "Oh shit, right on." And then, you know, started getting familiar with Marzi, and came back, and after the one jam, I cut the record, and then Marzi had come in, and then we just decided that it wasn't the one. So we went back and did it again, which was the actual record, and we had Bennett on bass at the time, and I think he did a lot of it, and then Philip did a lot of the bass himself. And that was it, man. The Illegals was born, and just, you know, recording, like, bam, here we go, we're the Illegals. And then shortly after that, I guess we started getting tour offers, and we had to tour it, and we needed a touring bass player. And Steve is a friend of Marzy's, and that's where he came into the fold. He was giving Marzy the ride to Houston, or to Louisiana, because he lives in Houston. You know, they were buddies. So Steve was just bringing Marzy down to the house, and Steve's an accomplished musician in his own right. He was in, you know, Woven Hand and 14 horsepower. Is it 14? I think it is. It's not 20 horsepower. And but he plays guitar, and he was into real, you know, I guess folksy, you know, bluegrass type. He was into a weird genre himself, but he has hands, and he's a very quick learner, and he's got a lot of good ideas. So it's really cool to be jamming with Steve, and that's, dude, it snowballed. Once Steve brought, and it's like, well, fuck, dude, he can do it. So we did it, and we did it for a few years, and then we just and it was good, man. The Illegals is a really fun thing. I think when the record came out, it really went over a lot of people's heads for a little while. They might have been expecting a little bit different. I think the Pantera fans mostly were were probably the ones that were most well, Pantera and Down fans were probably a little bit weirded out by it. You know, fans of Superjoint and more of his extreme stuff were all over it real quick. But I think it was just a little bit harder of a pill to swallow for a lot of people. Right now, the website is paradorcustomsticks.com, but it's not actually running right now.
Okay.
The best way to get a hold of us is on Facebook, and me, actually. Because I'm actually artist relations for the company.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've actually taken on a title to become more involved with the company and really try to get our foot in the door of doing something new. I think David has a $1 million idea, basically reinvented the drumstick without having to do too much. And, you know, we have a lot of awesome drummers on board. Tommy Buckley, Jimmy Bauer. Yeah. She's our yeah, she's mama. She handles absolutely everything and takes care of absolutely everyone. So she trips out when people are fans of her and know her name, because she's always weary that somebody's just gonna like try to ask her to get to Philip or something. So when people actually get pictures with her and her autograph, I think is what trips her out. She's like, what? She's awesome. She's awesome, man. She's awesome, and she's very awesome to talk to. She's been there for all of us for a lot, and she's definitely been there for me. Like I said, it's a family, and we keep it rolling, and we do the best that we can, and this is all we got. It's not, we don't have 2 buses, 2 trailers, 18 people on the crew and shit. You know, we have a band of 5 guys, tour manager, security, and 3 techs. He was the guy we were looking for. You know, Marzy is incredibly talented and is very diverse. But I honestly don't even know if Marzy would have liked the stuff that we're doing now. But, you know, would it have been cool for it to have worked out? Sure. You know, nobody likes to fucking change members and shit and to go through bullshit. Yeah. You know, it's a marriage. You love these people that you're dealing with, you know, and fuck anybody that thinks that, you know, that's pussy shit or whatever. You know, these are individuals you live with. You spend a lot of time with. They know the most intimate things about you. They know your family. They love your family. They watch you grow. You see what I mean? This shit it ain't easy to fucking switch members. It's not fucking changing a pair of pants. It's not, you know, it's not cut and dry. You know, there's feelings, emotions, livelihoods, and shit that go into everything that we do. So, I mean, it gets real lighthearted and it gets real heavy real fast.
Yeah.
Now the lineup that we have is very cohesive. You have Walter, fucking Howard, who's a grind bass player. We just wanted to, Philip's going bananas, dude. and we're fucking losing our minds with him. And
Nice.
and it's a blast, and we're having a fucking blast. And De Leon is a monster, and he loves what we're doing. He loves what we're doing, and that's what we needed. We needed somebody, you know, that's really in love with what we're doing. You know, I'm excited for people to hear the Illegals and to hear the progression in all of us as a band, as a unit, and it's going to be a real transformation from what it was. It's a smoother, meaner, faster wrecking ball of badassery. It's pure fucking insanity, dude. I mean, if people were completely taken back by the first record, you're definitely going to be taken back by the next record. And that's housecore, man. You know, all we have is each other, and it's cool. It's really weird to think, I guess, in a way, how I'm so young, but yet I'm still involved in Philip's life, and we're doing so much together. But I think that alone is a fact, or is an overlooked, you know, variable in the person that he is. Because if why would a dude that's had so much success want to jam with somebody less than half his age? You see what I'm saying? Or half his age. You know, that doesn't make any sense unless he really saw something in me and saw potential. So, you know, I'm absolutely grateful for the opportunity, and I want to make the best of it and make everybody a housecore and everybody that's a fan of ours proud.